Today I'm going to show you the major triad. It's so important for bass players to know chord tones and to know their arpeggios. The reason why is whenever in the band is playing a chord, let's say the keyboard player is playing a C major chord or the guitarist is playing a C major chord, it really gives you more power and you can make better decisions if you know that within that chord they are playing C, E, G. Those are the chord tones of the C major chord. So we can practice simple patterns that makes that a little easier to learn. It's not that daunting of a task if you just commit to learning a couple fingerings. So the first fingering I'm going to show you is the most common fingering. You start with your middle finger, in this case we'll start on the C, 3rd fret, and then you play the major 3rd, which is the E. Then you play, your pinky plays the perfect 5th, which is a G, and it can just move down to the 5th fret on the G string and play the C. So this is a very common pattern I want you to memorize. Now what you're doing is you're stepping through the chord tones one at a time, whereas a keyboard player might hit them all at once. They might play the chord. You're playing it once at a time, just one note at a time, just so you can hear the pitches and hear how they relate. Now you can move that pattern all over the bass because the way our basses are tuned. Like if I want to play a D major triad, I just move my finger up and keep the same pattern that I just played. If I want to play B flat, if I want to play G. If you look at my left hand, I'm playing the same sequence of notes. I'm just moving the starting point, and I'm keeping everything in the same juxtaposition. There's another neat fingering. Let's say that here's a C, but also on your E string on the 8th fret, here's a C. And through your course of playing a bass line, you might find that your pinky ends up on the root. Well, without quickly trying to shift to get your favorite pattern, you also have this major fingering, which I love. It's root, major 3rd, 5th, octave, 5th, major 3rd, root. Let me give you the frets there. So I start on the 8th fret C, then I go on the 7th fret on the A string, play the E with my ring finger. Index finger plays the G on the 5th fret on the D string, and I just push it down onto the C 5th fret on the G string. So it's... Now that pattern only works in its completion if the root's on the E string, but it's a good one to know so you're not just always limited to this one fingering. So practice these in every root you can think of. Have friends yell out roots, write them down on pieces of paper, turn them over, and then flip it over and go, oh, A flat major, and then practice the A flat major triad. When you're playing your bass lines, these are good resolution points, which means you can stop on them, you can start on them, you can hold these notes longer than a non-chord tone, and you'll be really in harmony with what everyone else is doing. So practice your major triads, move them all over the neck, and if you have any questions about this, email me at dalet@danabgoods.com. Thanks a lot.